Hello friends, thank you for watching this video. I am Mohamad and today we're going to be discussing how we can actually utilize JSON within our .NET web application. We're going to be seeing the different ways that we can actually use to serialize and deserialize JSON in order for it to work with our APIs. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. It will really help the channel. As well, if you'd like to support me, please consider supporting me on Patreon or buying me a coffee. With that said, grab your cup of coffee and let's get started. So what I have here is I have my terminal where I'm going to be creating my web application. So I'm going to put .NET, new web API, dash controllers. I'm going to give it a name of sample API. And now we can see it has been created. Now let's open it up in Rider. So now that my application is open, we can see it's a standard out of the box .NET API. We have my program.cs here. We have my controllers, where basically I have the standard boilerplate code that Microsoft provide. Okay, great. So what I want to do first is I'm going to create a very sample model. So I'm going to create a directory. I'm going to call it model. And inside this model, I'm going to create a class. And this class, I'm going to call it user. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just provide an integer as an ID. I'm going to create a string as a first name. And I'm going to be creating a string as a last. Perfect. So now that I have done this is the class that I'm going to be utilizing in order for me to serialize and deserialize. So let's see the different ways that we can actually do this. So inside the controllers that I have built in, I'm just going to clean it up a bit. I don't really need all of this. I'm going to say action result. And I'm going to return an OK right now. And that's basically all I'm going to be doing here, just in order for me to have a clean endpoint that I can actually utilize. So what I want to do here is I want to first create some kind of a user. So I'm going to put var user1 equal the new user, and basically I'm gonna provide this user with random information. So ID equal 1, first name equal Mohamad, last name equal Lawan. And let's create another user as well. Var user2 equal the new user, and here for example we can put ID equal 2, first name could be, let's say, Lewis, and last name could be Hamilton. Okay, great. So now I have two users here, and basically right now these users are in a C# format. And what I want to do is I want to basically convert them into JSON, and we're going to be seeing two ways. So let's see the first one, which I actually can utilize. So the first one is going to be the JavaScript serializer, and this is built in into .NET, so we don't really have to install any third-party libraries, and it's going to be easy for us to serialize and deserialize. So let's see how we can do it. So the first one is going to be var user JSON. For now I'm just going to call it equal var user JSON equal JSON serializer dot serialize, and basically I'm gonna pass user1 here. And now all I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna take the user JSON, add it to the OK, and now let's run this and test it out. So now that my application is open in Swagger, I'm just gonna click on try it out, execute, and we can see here that the JSON has been serialized correctly and is converted into a JSON object. Okay, perfect. So now that I have done this, what I want to do right now is I want to check how we can actually deserialize an object within using the same method. So basically here, if we take a look at this reference of JSON serializer, this JSON serializer is actually provided by .NET and is basically utilizing the System.Text.Json, which is a library which is newish added to .NET. I think it was added back in .NET 5, and we don't really have to rely on any third-party services or NuGet packages in order for us to do this serialization. And it's a very powerful tool. So this is basically how we can do actually serialization. Now we're gonna see how we can actually deserialize. And deserialize is basically converting, so whatever we have from a JSON object, we are converting it back to an object. So we're converting from JSON to C#. So now if I want to actually deserialize back this into a new user, or basically a new C# object, I can put var user object equal JSON serializer dot deserialize, and I want to specify what type of object that I want to deserialize to. In this case, it's going to be user, and I'm going to specify the information which is going to be feeding from, which is user.json. And all I'm going to return here, if everything works to plan, I just want to return the user object dot first name. And if that works, it means that I'm actually able to convert back this JSON into a object, and I can actually get its first name. So let's test this out. Let's go back to my web browser, and I'm going to click on execute. And now as you can see here, I was able to get Mohamad, which basically means that I'm actually able to serialize and deserialize this correctly. Okay, perfect. So this was the first method that we can actually utilize, which is relying on the JSON serializer options, which is a built-in functionality within .NET. The other way which we can actually utilize this is by utilizing a library called Newtonsoft.Json or JSON.NET, which is one of the most popular JSON libraries that exist within the .NET platform. To do that, I'm going to go to my terminal, .NET add package Newtonsoft.Json. Okay, perfect. Now we can see the installation has finished successfully. I can verify it by going to my CS Proj, and we can see here it's installed successfully, which is perfect. And now what I want to do is I want to use this here. So I'm just gonna stop this, or basically command these out, and I'm gonna add the new ones. So in order for me to serialize using the Newtonsoft one, what I want to do is I want to add the following. So I'm gonna put var, gonna put the same thing, user JSON equal JSON convert.serialize object, and here it's going to take the object that I want to, and in this case it's going to be user1. Perfect. So now that I have my user1, all I'm going to do is I'm going to return this to my OK to see if it's actually working as it should be. So now let's run this, go to my web browser and click on execute. Now we can see I was able to get back my JSON as a serialized object. Perfect. So now if I go back, let's see how we can actually deserialize this. And to do that, I'm just going to create the same object as we did before. So var user object equal, let's stop this, JSON convert dot deserialize object. I need to specify the type for it, and here it's going to become user, and we can see here user JSON. This is the object that we want, and what I want to do is I want to return the first name similar that we have done before. Perfect. So now once I have done that, let's run this, and let's go to my web browser and click on execute, and as you can see here, I'm able to see my name, which means that everything is actually running as expected, and this is how I was able to serialize and deserialize my JSON utilizing the two libraries. So the first one, which is built into .NET, the second one is relying on a third-party libraries. So why do you want to utilize JSON.NET over the built-in one? So based on Microsoft, as we can see here, the main difference between Newtonsoft.Json and System.Text.Json, which is built into it, is gonna be a lot of different configurations. So basically within JSON.NET, there's a lot of different options to configure the serialization option based on how we need. So we can see here that allow property names without any quotes, allow single quotes around string values, allow non-string JSON, because basically when we're utilizing JSON, we're dealing with a lot of third-party APIs, and these third-party APIs might have different types of JSON object that we want to utilize, and utilizing JSON.NET can be a bit more flexible in order for us to have that power, in order for us to see which one fits better with our need, in order for us to be able to deserialize. But I would say if we're actually utilizing a library that we are actually creating, we know we have full control about that API endpoint, we can actually utilize the built-in one, which is relying on System.Text.Json in order for us to do the serialization, because as you can see here, most of these features are actually available. On the other hand, some of the more advanced topics when it comes to configuration of the serialization is only available within Newtonsoft, and this is why I chose these two. There is a third one and a fourth one which is not really worth our while, but these are the main two items that you need to consider if you're trying to do any serialization within our .NET application. So I will leave the link for this article in the description down below. If you'd like this video, please like, share and subscribe. It will really help the channel. If you have any questions, please make sure you put them in the comments down below, and thank you very much for watching and have a great day.